Is this, okay, so is anybody, who is working in the 14th edition book?
Me.
Me. And who is, Miss Lisa?
Yep.
Okay, everybody else has the 13th edition, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I need patience because this is what I'm coming up against. Is the name of the chapter in the 13th edition is different than the name of the chapter in the 14th edition. So if I'm not putting the name of the chapter, it's because it's too confusing. So if I put read chapter 2, 13th edition, read chapter 2, page blah, blah, blah to blah, blah, blah. I'm not putting the name because I don't want anybody to read a different name. So if you're the 13th edition, you're going to read chapter whatever, and these are the page numbers. It's very difficult whenever I have 4 different books going here and 6 different books going in. It just gets a little confusing. So thank you guys for being patient with me. So what I'm asking for, hang on, let me see if that's one of our ladies asking. I sent out the code this morning, so. Okay, I'm just going to turn it all the way down. All right. So did we have any questions on therapeutic communication?
I did not. I do not.
Okay, therapeutic communication is my very, very, very favorite chapter. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm a talker. I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling. Y'all know that. I mean, I'm going to tell the fence post if it will sit still long enough for me to do that. So that's just me. I'm going to tell you what I think. I try to not be so verbal, but you know, my husband tells me sometimes I have verbal diarrhea, that I have to get it out so that I can just move past things. Not everybody is like that. So when a patient comes into the facility, whatever aspect you're front office, if you're the medical assistant, if you're the nurse, if you're the doctor, can you tell sometimes how your patient is just by looking at them?
Yes,
Yep.
but you don't
You
need to speak on.
absolutely can. So if you are the receptionist, let's just, I know I always use receptionist. I'm sorry. I don't want to use coder because you're in an office and you don't always see anybody. But if you see that person come to the front desk and they're sweating and they're red and they're shaking, that's a visual cue. Maybe they're not saying anything verbally, but that is a visual cue that says they've got to get back now. Something's not right. Right? So that's,
Right.
you know, that's nonverbal communication. If y'all come in the classroom and I'm doing this, and you say, "How are you, Miss Marcia?" and I say, "I'm fine," I'm giving you a visual cue. I am not okay.
Right.
Or if I'm crying and I'm saying, you know, there's verbal and nonverbal. You can actually intertwine the two. You know, sometimes I can look at your faces and say, "Okay, come on, let's go. What's going on? What's wrong? What's the matter?" You know, those communication skills, although when we're reading it, we talk about it, we think it's funny, but do you know how valuable it is? It's so valuable. It's one of the most valuable tools that you have when you're working in a medical field. Okay. How many of you see your husband or your boyfriend walk through the door and you see that their ears are red and they are not in the mood? That's a nonverbal cue to say, "Honey, dinner's ready." You know, or with us, if there's something wrong with us, we don't even have to say it verbally. We understand that there's something the matter, right?
Right.
Right. It's called a vibe.
The vibe. That's
Vibe.
this is our hippie chick. She's going to use the word groovy or vibe. That's our groove. That's our vibe. So,
It's a vibe.
I completely agree with that.
yeah, it's, I lost my train of thought. It's okay. Here it comes. It's going to get back on the track in a minute. So when you were reading your chapter, when you were doing your workbook, what stood out to you?
Knowing when to not verbalize what's on your mind.
Oh, yeah.
If someone comes in there sweating, you don't take that opportunity to say, "Oh, you look like crap. You must not be feeling well." Because that's going to get you fired quicker than anything.
Right.
Because they're going to say,
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I think sometimes in class we're all so close and we're like, oh my gosh, what's your problem? You know, those kinds of things. But I think that all of us, that's where our professionalism is going to shift. When we're in a comfortable situation, when we're in a comfortable atmosphere, if it's the front office and you're comfortable with your patients, you still have to be professional with your verbal and nonverbal communication. Somebody walks up to the window and you're going, hey, you know, you know, your communication skills are lacking, and so is your professional communication. You have to, you know, you have to marry those two things together, right?
Yes.
One of the things that I want to bring up, and I really struggled with bringing it up because of what's going on in the world, and it is how to deal with sensitive situations. You know, I can't say the word. Ethnicity.
Ethnicity.
That word.
Yeah, what you said.
Different
usually
ethnical
say it, but
backgrounds.
Right. And it's not just that. It's like if you have a different culture come in. For example, we have some cultures that are not necessarily, they haven't lived in America their whole life, the United States their whole life. They come from a third world country, and the husband speaks for the wife. So as Americans, we're not generally
Used to.
prone to that. You know, we go to the doctor by ourselves, but you can't, the one thing that you have to make sure that you're not communicating non-verbally or verbally is that you don't agree with that situation. That's their situation. You have to be just as respectful with your actions as well as your words, right?
Tolerance. Tolerance.
Well, you don't want to even take
Or
you
understanding.
don't want to even be in the mental, I think in the mental state of tolerance, because sometimes tolerance is very intolerant. You're thinking to yourself, well, I have to tolerate this. So, you know, there comes the head movement. Well, I'm going to tolerate. No, it's not your job to judge.
I don't mean like tolerate. I mean like, I guess more understanding that
Yeah, you have
everyone
to not
has
judge.
different
You
cultural
can't.
beliefs.
It's not your lane to judge, right?
Right.
It is not your lane to judge. Now, privately, if you're judging, I can't stop that. You know, that's you, but you cannot show that in your nonverbal communication, and you can't show it in your actions. You just have to say, this is not mine to judge. It's not my business. Stay in your lane. Do your job. Be professional. Be friendly. Communicate what you need to communicate. Okay, so you guys know me. I'm a hugger. I want to hug your neck. I want to kiss your cheek. I want to rub your hair. Not everybody likes that, right?
Right.
Sydney does
No.
not like
Right.
that. Now, she give me a hug every now, but you know what I mean? We have to also realize that different cultures, you cannot be as friendly, or you have to conduct yourself with a lot more space, right? So your
Right.
communication has to adjust to whatever situation you're in. If you have a 92-year-old Southern woman that brings you tomatoes from her garden every summer and wears her big hat, and she wants to give you a hug and you want to hug her back, that's okay, right? You're just communicating love, support to her. It's just whatever situation you're in. You just have to be aware of your situation and be able to judge. What's so funny, Miss Lisa? Are you the lady with the hat bringing tomatoes?
No, that'd be me going to pick them while my parents are out of town. They've got a tomato garden I got to go pick. Who wants tomatoes?
No, I was just thinking about my last job on dealing with a lot of different cultures and people too. See,
Yeah. Well,
I met people that come from all around the world.
yeah. Well, you have to be ready to deal with different cultures, different
right.
social backgrounds, different education levels, different attitudes. But
Different classes.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to be
People do.
dealing with all of those different things. So really the discussion is just to begin to get you thinking about different cultures, different ways to cope with different cultures. You know, educate yourself beyond just us talking about communication and how you're dealing with different patient scenarios. You know, maybe educate yourself. If you get into a facility where you're just dealing with children and mothers, it's a different kind of thing, but then you're still going to have those different cultures within that facility, right?
Right.
this is the time whenever I want to just talk about something real quick, and I always stick this in this lesson, and then we're going to talk for a few minutes, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Okay, so say that someone comes to your reception window. It's a lady and a man. They're together. She fills out her paperwork. This is easier when y'all are in class, by the way. And whenever she gives you her paperwork, she slips you a note. Do you see the note? And you say, hey, lady, you forgot your note. What do you want? Are you going to do that?
No, because you never know what the
You don't know
circumstances
what's
are.
in that
You read the
note.
note and
What if-
discreetly bring
okay.
it to someone else's attention.
Right. So you're going to discreetly move the note. You're going to read the note. And it may say, help me, my husband has a gun.
There was a situation at the veterinarian's office like that.
Well, I saw this on Facebook, okay? And it was a real situation where they went to a veterinary office and the man had a gun, and the receptionist, they really kind of saved her life, and everybody in the thing. And I decided, I said, you know what? We may never come across that. But if you do, wouldn't you want someone to have told you about it?
Yes.
So this is what I want you to remember, that you're not only communicating with your patients, your patients are communicating with you. And you have to be open to that for every single person that comes to that window. So if someone needs your help, you can give the help they need. If they're visibly ill and need help, who's going to be the first person to see that? If you're the receptionist, you are. You have to be able to pick up on those nonverbal cues, which most of you are very, very good at that. When we're in class together, you can absolutely tell when I'm ticked off with you, can't you? I can tell when you're not happy with me. So anyway, we just have to be really, really good at those cues. We have to really think about any scenarios. Remember, I always tell you that envision a toolbox in your brain. You need to put this in your toolbox so when you need it, you can pull it back out. If someone hands you something in confidence, pull it off. Maybe they just dropped their insurance card, but wouldn't you want to know that you pulled it to the side and made sure it wasn't something they needed you to see without anybody else knowing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The
So
squirrel's
once you
crazy.
get I'm going to tell you, once you get the note and it says, please help me, he's got a gun, you're going to go straight to the office manager.
Okay.
This is going on, this is what happens. And then they're going to have stuff and believe it or not, everybody has those scenarios written out what they need to do. Miss Sue is just getting into here, so I'm just going to admit her. Then they would take it from there and you would just follow instruction. Good morning, Miss Sue. Miss Sue.
I'm sorry.
There she is. Miss Sue, meet Penny.
Hi, Penny. Meet Ruby.
She's a new grandbaby. Okay, so I think we need to, I keep forgetting Penny hasn't been on with us. So for just a second, you guys, just take a minute and introduce yourselves and let her know who you are, and then we'll take any questions and then we're heading out. So Sydney, start with you, please.
Hi, I'm Sydney.
You've been at school how long?
I don't know anymore.
At least 2 months, for about 3 months. Sydney is very quiet, but she's really sweet. All right, Becca, it's your turn.
Hey, I'm Rebecca. I've been in school about 3 months.
Okay, Josette.
I'm Josette, or Joe. I've been in school since September, and you're meeting me now, but you won't see me much longer.
She'll be gone Tuesday. So if you get on the Zoom call with us Tuesday, be prepared for a slideshow with a song and me bawling. It just happens. It's just what it is. It just is.
Joe is leaving this Tuesday?
Yes,
Yep.
Joseph,
The 9th.
All right.
I
if
know.
you change your phone number, you need to let me know that, okay? So we don't
Okay,
lose touch.
okay, Miss Sue. Miss Lisa, you go next.
Aw.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I've only been there, let's see, I started in March and I had a whole day and a half in class with everybody.
Woo!
She's not lying. But she's done great. She's awesome. Okay, Miss Sue.
Oh, I miss Sue. I've been there since what, October? I'm fixing to
Forever.
leave July 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we missing? And
Uh,
Jada isn't
Tamia
here.
And
Tamia's
Jada.
here working. Oh, we're missing Lauren too. Well,
Oh, yeah.
okay, Beady woman, you're just beating that keyboard to death. You need to mute yourself.
Sorry.
But this is our little group. There's a couple that we're missing, Penny, but we're like a big family. We enjoy each other, and we have a lot of fun, and I fuss at them. You can ask Jo. She got a fussing message this morning in all caps.
See what had happened was
I don't want to hear what happened was. I
will
fuss,
tell
but
you
they
this,
still know I
Penny.
love them. Huh?
I will tell you this, Penny. The reason she's harping on me and picking at me is because of how far I have come, because this is not my first go around with medical assisting or this course. And I'm actually completing it this time.
That's great.
That's
If
another
she
reason.
comes to class,
Yay.
if she doesn't come to class, if she doesn't do her work, I'm keeping her. So you better do your stuff. Jo has come a long way. I remember the first time I met her, and see, I shouldn't do this now. I should do this Tuesday, right? But can I just throw you right under the bus?
Go for it.
Jo would be a 100% student if she would do her work every day. She would be straight A. She'd be 100s, but because she disappears and she sleeps through a whole day without getting up and looking at her phone or anything, I don't know. She has to get fussed at on a regular basis about it.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
we're losing. I'm so super proud of Jo. She has just come a long way. I remember when we were talking in the foyer when she first started. She said, well, I've done this before, and you know, I just don't know. She was a little scared. I said, you know what? You've done it before, but this is your time. This is your time. The other times were not your time. Don't you cry. Can't do it today. But this is your time. And you know what? It was her time. And she is going to go and do amazing things.
I believe that.
You all are going to go and do amazing things. NBC don't make no junk.
Right?
Go ahead.
You know, I really feel like God puts who he wants here. And we have been so blessed to have who we have. And we just been blessed to have each other. So anyway, all right, getting back to classes. Anybody have any questions?
I don't have any questions now.
Well, you know, don't be shy if you do.
What's on the test for Monday? Oh, that's my
Your
question.
Study. It's not
I have
hard.
a question.
I know it's not.
What'd you say, Becca?
When's our next Zoom call?
Monday morning, we're going to do Zoom because your projects are due, right?
Right.
So I need, what I'm going to do is when we get on the Zoom call on Monday, we're going to talk about, you're just going to give me a little bit about your person that you chose. Or I know Miss Sue kind of took a different route. Don't screw your face. You know, my mama used to say, if you make those faces, they're going to stick. So just stop doing it. Miss Sue is doing something a little different, but I just want you to tell me.
And what is new?
Right?
Nothing new, I promise you. She's got to go above and beyond. If I ask for a paragraph, she gives me 3 pages. That's just where we are with her. But I expect it. I think that's wonderful. That's just Miss Sue. But I'm just going to be asking who you chose and what you learned about them. But just because we discussed it Monday doesn't mean I don't want your actual project. So if you wrote it in an essay, you can take a picture of it, or you can type it, or you did a PowerPoint, email it to me. You guys have been doing this long enough. You know there are lots of ways to get me your project. So any other questions?
Nope, just a test Monday on chapter 2, right?
Right. What time would y'all like to do Zoom on Monday?
Don't matter to me.
10 o'clock Monday. How about that? Executive.
That'll
That
work
works.
for me.
Okay.
That
So
works.
we're only going to do about 30 minutes, but I really want to, I love seeing your faces, first of all. It really encourages me to see you guys smiling back at me. I need that. I'm a ball because I'm in this classroom without my ladies. And I'm rearranging and I've put new pretty stuff up and you haven't seen it yet and I hate that. But I am so, so proud of you all. Keep up the good work and have a wonderful weekend and I will see you Monday morning. Penny, it was
Yes,
great
ma'am.
to see you.
Yes, it was
Not
great
the
to see
rest
you.
of
I
you,
finally
then.
made it.
I'm kidding. I love all of you guys. You know that. All right. I'll see y'all Monday. If you need me, call me.
Bye.
Bye.